Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Kennedy with Leisure Fitness. Today we're going to show you how to train on the Inspire FT1 trainer. We're going to start with a chest press. Very simple to do. All we've done is we've moved the bench over and we put the back support up. Now notice I'm not sitting straight up, I'm at a little bit of an angle. Also please notice that we've set the carriage on the machine at a point that's going to be right across the center of my chest. When I'm sitting in the bench, I'm going to grab the handles, and I want the handles to come right to the center of my chest. So when I bring it back, my thumbs can touch the middle of my chest. You see the position. We're going to come out under control, pause, and come down slowly under control. Generally, we want to find a resistance that we can do about 8 to 12 times to momentary fatigue. In other words, if I come up in about 1 to 2 and down in about 3 to 4, I'm in uninterrupted contraction for about 4 to 6 seconds for each rep. And if I can do more than 12, that resistance is probably a little bit too light. If I can't get at least 8, that resistance is a little bit too heavy. All I've done to be able to monitor this is to set the pins right here on the carriage. The carriage has a small lever. If I was a little bit taller, I'd probably have to set the carriage up a little bit higher. All I did was adjust it for my height so that I can get a good straight movement with the bench press. Simple way of getting your chest by sitting on the bench and using the carriage and the handles. The seated chest press. Give it a try. The next exercise we're going to do on the Inspire FT1 is the seated row for the upper back muscle known as latissimus dorsi. I've set the bench a little bit farther away from the frame. I'm going to step through. Notice I've got the handles just about shoulder height. I'm going to reach across, get each handle, and now I've got a pretty good stretch in my back. I'm going to pull it back under control in about 1 to 2 seconds and lower it slowly under control to a real good stretch. Back under control, down in about twice that time. And if we're getting 8 to 12 repetitions to somewhere around momentary fatigue, we're going to get a good workout out of our back. The seated lat pull, a great exercise for your upper back on the Inspire FT1. Give it a try. A simple exercise for training the upper back of the latissimus dorsi is called the bent over row. It's a simple thing to do on the Inspire FT1. We're going to change the position of the carriage by flipping the lever, dropping it down to the lowest position, taking a hold of the carriage handle, stepping slightly back from the machine to get a good stretch on the lat tendon and our arms, put our opposite hand on our knee to stabilize our upper body, and bring it in slowly under control. Pause, down 4, 3, 2, 1. Always bring the weight up under control, down 4, 3, 2, 1. Generally, we raise the resistance in about 1 to 2 seconds and lower it in about twice that time. And don't forget, get a good stretch at the bottom. The bent over row, a simple way to do your upper lats. And as soon as we're done on this side, we're going to change the carriage on the opposite side and do the left side of our body. Give it a try. I think you'll like the bent arm row. A simple exercise for training your shoulders or the deltoid group is called a seated press. Now I've taken the bench and I've slid it right into the machine. It's back as far as it will go. I've taken the handles down to the bottom of the stack. I'm reaching over, I'm going to pull them up to my shoulders. This is the starting position. Elbows are down and in, and now I'm going to press straight over my head. Up in about 1 to 2, pause, down in about twice that time, usually about 3 or 4 seconds. Up under control, pause, down slowly under control. Try to find a weight that you can do about 8 to 12 times maximum and try about 1 to 3 sets. The seated press, a simple and effective way to train your deltoids. Give it a try. Hi, the next exercise we're going to try here on the Inspire FT1 is the squat. Now the squat is a multi-joint exercise. It means we're going to be training the gluteals, which is our butt muscle, the front of our thighs, and our back of our thighs, the hamstrings, are sort of a stabilizer. We use them somewhat to keep our balance as we go up and down. And notice that I've taken the carriage and I've dropped it all the way to the bottom of the column. I've got 2 handles on the bottom, just like we've done before. I'm going to lift them up and put them just next to my shoulders. Now, I'm going to spread my feet just a little bit farther out. I'm just outside of shoulder width apart, toes pointed slightly out. I'm going to bring down under control, pause. I want to feel the stretch in my thighs, and up. I don't want to quite lock out. I want to keep all the pressure right onto my hips and legs. Down under control, pause, all the way up. Back down in about 1 to 2. And bring it back up. Always maintain control. Now, if you start to lose your balance just a little bit, all we need to do is have you lean forward and bring the weight down. It's simple to come back out. So the squat on the FT1, it's a simple way to train your hips and your legs at the same time. Very effective, and for me, it's a lot of fun to do. Enjoy the FT1. I think you'll like the squat. I'm going to show you a simple exercise to train your hamstrings. It's very simple to do because all we're doing is dropping the carriage down to the bottom of the column. I've taken the handle that we've been using, placed it on the accessory rack, and picked up the ankle strap. I put the ankle strap around my ankle, hooked it to the bottom of the weight stack, and I'm going to stabilize myself by hanging onto the carriage pole. I'm going to stabilize on the left side, come back under control in about 1 to 2, pause, come back down 4, 3, 2, 1 to a stretch. Curl it up, pause, squeeze, down 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't forget to get a good stretch at the bottom. Up under control, down 4, 3, 2, 1. I would recommend about 10 to 15 repetitions on each leg. Once you do the right, don't forget to do the left. The standing hamstring curl, a great way to train the back of your thighs. Give it a try. On the Inspire FT1, there's a simple way to train your biceps using a bicep curl. On your accessory rack, we have a curl bar. You can see it's got a knurled surface and it's angled to make your grip a little bit easier. It attaches to both sides of each of the carriages. I'm going to stand up with it, come up under control. Remember, about 1 to 2, down, under control. Don't just let it drop. Bring it up under control and back down under control. I've set the weight at the weight stack so that each of them are at the same weight. All the way down under control. I'm suggesting you do about 1 to 3 sets of about 8 to 12 repetitions. If you can do more than 12, the weight is probably a little bit too light for you now. If you can't do at least 8, it's probably a little too heavy. So experiment a little bit, but don't forget to include the bicep curl and use it at the end of your workout. That way your upper body positions will be a lot stronger. The bicep curl, an easy way to do it on the Inspire FT1. Give it a try. A simple way to train the muscle on the back of your arm, the triceps, a 3-headed muscle that allows your arms to extend or causes your arms to extend, is called the tricep pushdown. Now I've taken this accessory off the accessory rack. I've placed it at the top of the rack. You notice that I've taken the carriage all the way to the top. I step toward the machine, I press down under control in about 1 to 2, and come up slowly in about 3 to 4 until the weight stack touches. Down under control, back up in about 3 to 4 seconds. Down under control, up in about 3 to 4. Because we're using a body weight above the waist, I want you to do 8 to 12. At least 8. If you can't get at least 8, the weight's probably a little too heavy. If you can do more than 12, it's time to take the weight up a little bit. The tricep push down, a simple way to do your triceps. Give it a try.